Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another mod update video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Old Realms Warhammer mod Dev Diary series as we dive into the months of April, May and June. I generally like to give about 3 months worth of Dev Diaries as that lets me bundle them all together for a pretty nice video. And of course we are edging closer and closer to the biggest update I think this mod will ever see with the implementation of the Orcs and the Dwarfs, which is something I am so excited for. So let's take a look at the month of April and see what they have been cooking up. So we start off with a little delay, however it is nonetheless a monthly dev blog time. Work continues smoothly on the big and small of the mountain folk. Small? Short? That's going in the book. In fact, we are a team finally decided on a name for the update. Drumroll please, the War of the Mountain Gods. So let's take a look at these mountains. We also may recognize where this is, so the image on your screen right now. This is Zufbar. And then they go on to say, as you can see, we've expanded our campaign map so that we can truly make the War of the Mountains. So again, this wasn't actually part. So Zufbar is to the east of Sylvania and the vampire counts up into the mountains, and you kind of cut off before you got to the eastern parts of the mountains. So it does look like we're going to be getting expansion to the map with this update, which I'm very excited for. We also get a glimpse at the Zufbar Lake as well, which is a pretty big body of water separating Sylvania, the mountains, as you go further and further down south, closer towards, the Sylvan Road. They then go on to say, we of course need a range of battle maps to accompany the campaign expansion with terrain perfectly demonstrating the superior dwarven firepower. So this is really exciting. Obviously, at the moment, the maps in the Old Realms are really awesome, but the majority of them are obviously like open fields and battlefields, etc., forests. We don't really have much in the way of like mountain battles or like choke pointy battles, and this is what they're gonna try and do. So we get a glimpse of 3 battle sites. We get Walking Gulch, we get the Dwarven Outpost, which is littered with dwarven machinery and buildings and other things, and then finally we also get the Watcher's Rest. All 3 of these maps look quite choke pointy, like you're going to be able to funnel the enemy down certain paths and allow your artillery and guns to really do some serious damage. In the update of the Dwarves and the Orcs, they're also planning on adding in the Lore of Death. We get a very nice image of all the awesome spells that are going to come alongside of it, and we also get a video of the Purple Sun, which looks absolutely destructive. This is one of the strongest vortex spells in the entire game, and yeah, it just does so much damage. So if you can bring the enemies into the forests and clump them up and then drop a Purple Sun down, you're going to do some absolutely insane damage. Finally, they showcase a little expansion to the faith system in the April update, and this is the Temple of Mirabedal, which is, I believe, the patron of Avalon, I believe. And yeah, you can see the shrines. So again, we don't currently have these. We currently have shrines. We don't have temples right now. So again, the faith system does look like it's going to expand, and hopefully there'll be some more stuff to do at these holy places. And that is going to be it for the Dev Diary of April. A bit of a shorter one, but still showing us some really cool stuff. I think there's probably a lot of stuff going on. This will be their biggest and probably hardest update so far, adding in not only 1 but 2 completely custom races with so much uniqueness. Like, it's not just adding another elector count or the elves, which are basically humans. These are orcs and dwarfs. They're very different, and it's going to be super exciting to see how they do develop. So next we move on to the May and June update, and this is 2 stuck into 1 right now, and it's really awesome. So first things first, they start off by saying welcome, and then they go on to congratulate the winner of their banner competition. Of course, they needed some very nice banners to fill out the orcs and the dwarves, and they held a community outpost kind of thing and allowed people to design them for them, and the winner was Invictus with this really awesome Iron Tribe banner, which looks super cool. We also get a glimpse of the campaign map as well and see this tribe who are scattered around the Bretonian mountains again. Oh, it's just going to open up so much extra stuff when this update comes in with all the different mountains. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, that looks really, really good. Now we move on to the next part, which is going to be the Dwarven Keep. So here we get a glimpse at the wealth of Dwarven architecture, and it looks absolutely incredible. That is by far one of the best things about this mod, is just their attention to detail on these beautiful scenes. The vampire counts have some of the most incredible scenes in gaming, full stop, and it looks like the dwarfs are also going to be able to match that. So we get a glimpse of the Dwarven Keep, the Hall of Iron, and the South Wheel Tavern as well. Yeah, the taverns are really, really cool across the road. I always say this, but again, hopefully they can design more stuff to actually make you visit these scenes more often and actually go in. I think it's a real travesty that you don't visit stuff like this more often, even in the base game. And I actually think the fact that you can just like talk to everybody without going to the settlement is one of the worst things that Bannerlord ever introduced into the game. Like, it just takes away so much immersion, and it's a real shame for stuff like this. So I think from now on, I might actually just start going into settlements and just walking around them and finding the people and talking to them, because it just adds a nice little extra bit of gameplay. However, don't worry if you're a fan of the vampire counts. They're also getting some love in this update. They're also getting another battle map as well to add to their spooky paths, and obviously if you're leading undead, this is going to be perfect. So we get the Raven's Road right here, looking very, very nice, foresty, derelict buildings. What more could you want as a vampire lord? Finally, we're also getting a glimpse at the the new scene for character creation, which is going to be a tavern, really throwing back to like Vermintide and other RPG style Warhammer games. Looks really cool, going to add a lot more flavor, and it's the small things like this which really help to complete the mod and just again completely immerse you into it. Again, it's such a small thing, and this probably took a while to create, but again, I think it's totally worth it, and we've done a great job with it. It looks really, really awesome. Not only are the vampire counts getting some extra stuff, we're also getting a brand new Breton Castle to fill out some more of the lands. Again, it looks incredible. Very excited to siege this bad boy and bring it down. The steps look awesome, and again, that's going to hopefully add a bunch more of extra combat as you continue to fight and push on. We've done a really good step forward right here, and again, the more of these you fight, the more they add as update goes on. It's just going to make sure that the world just feels more alive and factions don't get left behind because they're getting more and more castles. I know Shakuho have done a big breakthrough when it comes to their siege AI, so it would be awesome if other mod teams could kind of see what they're doing and try and implement it. I think the actual like progression of sieges that they've got in Shakuho like absolutely incredible, and I would love to see that kind of push away from vanilla sieges, because yeah, Shakuho are just a step above the vanilla siege AI. It's actually incredible having that fallback position. It makes the sieges feel really, really good, and I would love to be able to utilize more of the castles and other things along them lines. Of course, as the orcs and dwarfs get added, there's going to be big improvements to the campaign map. We already saw the expansion off to the off to the east with Zufbar, but of course, Karak-Kurdin is one of the biggest settlements there, and you can see it right here in all of its glory, looking very good. I love the mountain pass as well. This like really reminds me of playing the Warhammer 1. Yeah, it was Warhammer 1 modded map. Which I think has like 800,000 views on my channel from the Total War series, and yeah, that bridge, it brings back so many awesome memories. We also get a little glimpse of some of the orc settlements as well, and some of the extra detail that they're adding to the campaign map. Of course, we see Blackfire Pass, which is an iconic part of the old world and looks really good. We then move on to some expansion to the Empire, because of course, as these other places get expanded out, the Empire and the other factions are also going to fill out these new areas with their lore appropriate settlements and stuff, so you can see expansions and improvements and changes to the map with them as well. But yeah, we also get to look at Wiesenberg and also Def Grindas Camp right there. God, that sounded German. And then finally we also see Karak Zeflin as well, overlooking the vast forests off into the east, again looking really nice. We make our way on. Obviously, you can't have the dwarfs without some glorious artillery. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the artillery. Are we just going to be getting like the normal cannons and mortars style artillery, or are we going to get some additional types of artillery types? Because at the moment, the Empire just has mortars and they just have cannons. So it'll be interesting to see if the coders have been cooking up some abilities to get organ guns or flame cannons or anything else along them lines to really enhance the dwarven behaviors. I'm also very much interested with the rune system when it comes to the dwarfs. I imagine it will probably be similar to like the warrior priest, where you just apply buffs. But again, I'm excited to see how that does play out. And then finally, we also get a look at the female spell singer. So again, an additional model for the wood elves coming in, and obviously just adding in some extra armor and other things for them. And then last but not least, we do get one of the first career systems for the dwarves right here. Again, I think this is the best part of any Bannerlord mod ever. The career system just creates unique gameplay every single time you start a new campaign. There's a completely different path that you go down. There's a completely different type of army that you build to fit in this career system. It's absolutely incredible, and this is just such an awesome idea. So we get a glimpse of the Slayer right here, which I imagine will be like maybe one of 2 or 3 types. You'll probably get like an engineer for the dwarfs, and maybe like an iron. We saw the Ironbreaker one already in like February. So again, we were getting a handful with the dwarfs, and the orc ones are also going to be awesome. But yeah, here we get the career ability off into the left hand side. So for a limited time, the Slayer has an increased movement and weapon speed. Kills gained while this ability is active provides the Slayer with a stack of doom seeking, increasing damage and keeping all stacks until the end of the battle. That's a really awesome ability. A lot of the time these abilities are just kind of like a burst of power, but I like how the Slayer is getting gradually stronger and stronger throughout the battle as they get more and more kills. And they can also stack this with keystones, which I don't know what keystones are, but this will require more damage but allow them to add extra count as well. Yeah, so I don't know what keystones are. Obviously going to be a special resource probably for the dwarf, and you can see they start off as Slayer, Troll Slayer, and also then finally Demon Slayer. A lot of these paths are generally always really strong and something that you want to focus in on. And that is going to wrap it up. So we haven't seen too much from the actual, like, I guess, new armors and models and stuff. A lot of, like, campaign map stuff and a lot of the building stuff for the actual scenes. But it does look like the campaign map is getting a lot of love and has basically come a long way, if not already, like, getting close to being done with this new expansion. Because, yeah, we saw lots of stuff and it looked incredible. There's lots of detail everywhere, which is really awesome. No talk about when this update is being planned on being dropped. But, again, we're looking forward to it. I'm very excited for it. The campaign map looking like a lot of the stuff has been done is very promising, but of course it's done when it's done. The dev team did take a little break after the previous update, which was huge, and again this update looks to be just as big. I imagine there's probably still work to do down in the Badlands and stuff, as we haven't really seen much from that, but a lot of exciting stuff, and I can't wait to play this update. I'm going to be doing a let's play as one of the orcs or the dwarfs, and then a live stream series as the other one when it does drop. So yeah, it's going to be so much fun. If you guys found this useful, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. It really helps out the channel, goes such a long way, and I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date with future updates as they continue to drop more dev diaries. So as always, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.